EA Sports, and the PGA of America are proud to present final round coverage of the PGA Championship. Major championships are where the world's best golfers rise to the occasion, trying to etch their names into the record books. Today, we will see which golfer grabs the spotlight here at the PGA Championship. It is the season's final major championship here at Whistling Straits Scenic Golf Course, playing host to all the action.
What a great shot.
Good contact, good result. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, safety off the tee. Now what happens on this second shot?
This green, Rich, is just elevated a little bit, so you can't just sort of grab a wedge and just hit away willy-nilly. You've got to be careful here. You must flight that shot in properly to make it land softly on this green. Unbelievable from that distance.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now, and those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, hole shorter. Basically, the list goes on. Computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Kind of a tricky read. Trying to make yet another birdie. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Back to the action here at the 12th. It is a par 3, and Frank, a little bit of a breather, at least in terms of yardage.
Well, that's about it, because this green is one of the most undulating on the golf course. I doubt there's a flat spot on this green.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. And it makes the green in regulation. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just a couple of feet. In for par. Frank, here at the 13th, it's pretty obvious where the trouble is.
Yeah, all right, that's for sure, plus Lake Michigan there if you go even further right. But at 402 yards, don't have to hit driver down here. Even a 3-wood and a wedge would get you home here. So remember, fairway first, then set up the scoring chance.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. out there about 325 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That will be a great look at birdie. Birdie putt coming up. The par on this hole yesterday. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. As this one for par. Good putt. Frank, any major championship gives you a good mix of holes. We've had some long ones, and now this one just under 400 yards.
But it will punish you if you're offline. There's trouble left and the mounds and the bunkers on the right. So ideally, it's a positional tee shot.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for 11.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. I mean, that's how the game is played. Right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
So, they'll tap in. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, lots of sand and beach in view here at the 15th.
Yeah, this starts a tremendous 4-hole run to the clubhouse. And this is going to require your best tee shot. Maybe a little fade off the tee would keep it away from those bunkers on the left and set up that second shot.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
There's still some time. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Whistling Straits. How do you close this out on the right foot, Frank?
Well, this is the shortest of the 4 par 5s at 568 yards. There's a big crop of bunkers down the right side. Just a driver off those is certainly going to make this par 5 reachable.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
He has this for eagle. Bit of a disappointment there. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. 17th now, and if you have a club that goes 250 yards on a good line, bust it out right now.
And if anything, you want to aim it just ahead of the right. It pays to be a little cautious here because of that mound on the left. It goes down some 20 feet below the level of the green.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Well, Frank, we know that Pete Dye has given the world some intimidating par threes, most notably the 17th at TPC Sawgrass. He says this one is even more fearsome.
And the reason why is the drop-off on the left. It's 20 feet below the level of the green. Then you've got the sand dunes on the right, which are sort of speckled with bunkers as well. And then there's a little sliver of green grass in between. That's the green. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Frank, this is money time. The approach shot here at 18.
Well, there's that carry over 7 Mile Creek. That's the biggest problem. So this long iron hit into this green, you've got to take plenty of club to make sure it finds its target.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. And I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Charity Invitational.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the squire, he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
And it generates some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
It's at sneaky distance. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, this is one of the most famous holes in the whole sport, isn't it?
Postage stamp, just over 120 yards. It might seem short, but it's daunting. Many an Open Championship has been lost on this shortest of par 3s.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
So a tester from 4 feet. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided.
That is a golf swing you want to copy right there. Just beautiful. Good contact, good result. All right, the winds are starting to pick up. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. What's the right way to approach it?
Well, you've really got to find out, first of all, the direction of the wind, and you have to be certain of it right now. And plus, if there's a gust, that's something you've got no control over. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Chance for back-to-back.
And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Strong winds have been a factor all day here, Frank. What's the key to scoring low in conditions like this?
Well, sometimes you've almost got to make the ball go to ground. You've just got to keep it out of those high breezes, play away from the trouble.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Getting set now over the putt.
One more birdie, and now tied for the lead.
Frank, they call the 11th hole here at Royal Troon Railway. Maybe I'm being negative, but I think it should be called course because that's all I can see on this opening shot.
Gorse certainly comes into play right and left. The problem isn't bunkers here. At 490 yards, often it plays back into the breeze. What a great shot. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round one.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live second round coverage of the Charity Invitational. Located in Troon, Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports, and alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. His putt for birdie. It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. Third place now.
Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14th, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Down, little Sheba. Down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
And getting ready for the putt.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. The back 9 here at Royal Troon has only 1 par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3. Second shot.
That is just an outstanding shot right there. And now a chance for an eagle. These putts keep the round together. Man, what an eagle right there, Frank, and what a time to deliver that kind of decisive shot. 17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Right about 9 feet here to the hole. Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, the right fairway bunker ruined Greg Norman's chance at the 1989 Open Championship here at Royal Troon.
Yeah, pulled out driver, and there's 1 bunker down the right side. It had a perfect tee shot. What looked like it was perfect. Somehow it managed to run all the way down there and behind the lip. And of course, the rest is history.
He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
We'll make birdie if this drops. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. So all the scores have been posted for round number 2, and look who is on top of the leaderboard, Frank.
Yeah, with 2 very solid rounds of golf. Key right now, just stay out of your own way and keep it up. The pressure will start to build. We know that as you get closer to the end of this tournament.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Charity Invitational.
Well, this golf course goes back a long ways, to 1878, in fact. We're at Royal Troon Golf Club in Scotland. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Novelo. And Frank, where are some of the scoring opportunities out here?
Well, normally when the Open Championships played, the breeze comes out of the sort of northwest, which means those first few holes are played down breeze and the closing stretch is played into the breeze. So really you sort of make your hay on the way out and then you hang on for dear life on the way in. That doesn't really change because you have some rather short par fours to start.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that.
And let's go down to the first. Starting to round the turn now. 72 holes, it's a lot of golf. Third round about to get underway.
Yeah, played well through the first 2 days. Very much in contention. But it's still a new day.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
.315. Second shot. Good look at the green.
Safely on deck.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Nice solid start to the round. Tee to green looks to be in command.
Yeah, it's surprising. I thought he might have been a little shaky out of the gate, but certainly proved me wrong.
Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Got it for par. Hole number 4, Frank, can you cut the corner on the tee shot on this dogleg right par 5?
Well, Rich, you have to guarantee you can carry the ball at least 280 yards. That bunker that protects that side is the big problem if you go down the right.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Playing his third here at the par 5. Birdie try up next.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, I thought he had that.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par.
At the par 3 fifth, ready to get this hole started.
Prevailing breeze once again should be coming from the water, which is on the right. That makes that tee shot a little bit more difficult because it pushes the ball to those 3 bunkers on the left side. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Charity Invitational.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Oh, this is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Making it look easy at this point. Another beautiful approach shot. 10-foot putt left. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie.
Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about, that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
That will be a great look at birdie. Settles in over the putt.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
The second shot now to the par 4. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
This for birdie. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole.
Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back and now look like he's playing even better than ever. It took some doing.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way.
Just a couple of feet.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
'17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
That is superbly executed inside of 5 feet. Just a sensational approach shot.
Par yesterday, now for birdie.
Great, too.
Beautiful.
Frank, now the final hole here at Royal Troon, and when you think about the legends who have made the walk toward the clubhouse and the claret jug, it really does
give you a sense of where you're at. How about Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke, Tom Watson, Tom Weiskopf? They've all made the walk on this final hole to the claret jug.
And they've all hit great tee shots, and that's really what you need here. There's a bunker for just about every distance you hit the ball. So there's 3 down the left. There's no other way around it but avoiding them. And there's 1 down the right if you try and play it too safe.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
To win the Charity Invitational. Has it. Good putt right there. Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.